Okay, so almost everybody. Okay, well, I'm gonna start off by telling you a story that was shared to me. And the man who told me the story, his name is James Red Tomahawk. He actually used to live here. And I should probably bring him in for show and tell. But he used to work here as security. And the amount of stories he can tell you about the events that happened here are crazy. Like, he can tell you stuff that's happened in the Sitting Bull dorm, or when he used to work the night shift and have to patrol the area. But this specific story I'm going to share is one that really stuck with me because it scared me. So I'm going to read from here. I'm going to try to look up as much as I can, but I want to make sure I read it word for word, so that way I'm not changing any of his story, because it was directly from a text message. So he said, one of my many experiences took place while out hunting at the Grand River bottoms of South Dakota back in the late 1980s. It was early November. So as you guys know, November is usually the time that they go out hunting and stuff. And he owns land over there by Standing Rock. Okay, so was out hunting all day, and it was now getting evening, and my truck was about 2 miles away. I started to make my way back to it. So he's leaving his hunting area. I don't think he caught anything that day. I was getting close when I heard a group of kids playing, yelling, laughing. I knew I didn't see anyone else out in the area, but I figured some hunters must be out camping with their families, etc. I ignored it, but I was curious, so I got closer to my truck and the sounds were louder, and it was just behind a hill. Well, I thought I might as well go check it out. I topped over the hill only to hear the kids over the next ridge. So I kept trying to locate the sound, and now I can see an old gray eagle home place, and now I knew what was happening. These spirits were leading me away from my truck. I turned to see how far from my truck I was. This was about where I was now, at least 5 to 6 miles away, and it was getting dark. I made my way back again, and I hear these kids playing, but now it was very loud, as if they were just a few yards behind me. I kept my pace, not looking around, but focused on my truck on the hill. As I came closer to my truck, and what I heard kids play now turned into coyotes howling loud. I got into my truck now, and it was dark, and far out of the river bottoms I could see a campfire. Looking into my binoculars, although already clear but blurry, I see people. I paid them no mind and left the area. Many ghost stories of the Grand River bottoms have been told by the old ones, and many warnings of when not out to be out there. So that was one story he told me. Then he has plenty more. Ugh. But anyways, so I want to let you guys know, I could have brought in a real spirit box. I didn't. I thought about it over the weekend, and I was battling myself. I was like, I should bring one, and let's see if we hear something. But the same token, I was like, I don't want to, because what if I hear something that I shouldn't have heard, and then I'm going to bring some spirits home with me? I'm paranoid about that kind of stuff. I don't like spirits. I have sage in my house, I have sweet grass, I have dream catchers, I don't have any Mexican candles or anything, but they probably work. But I'm a really huge believer in the paranormal activities. I've had experiences happen. So I'll share my stories later. But this is what a spirit box kind of looks like. It's a little different, but I painted this black, and it's like there's envelopes inside. So if you guys need an envelope. But so the power button's right here, and the AM FM. That means you can play the FM radio station, or you can play the AM. My friend James personally prefers the AM because there's a lot less talk. Then right here would be the volume, so you can increase the volume or you can decrease it. There's also a little outlet if you want to hook it up to an amp to make it sound louder. So this is the sweep, so forward or backwards. So kind of backmasking if you play rewind, but the messages come out so much more clear. I should have brought my phone, because I have a recording on YouTube, or there was a recording on YouTube. Or you can play it forward, like if you're listening to a regular song on the radio, but this scans it, so it's less than a second of each radio station. Which brings me to the next one, the rate. That's how fast you want to scan through the channels. Like if you wanted 60 seconds, or if you want not 60 seconds, but second, half a second, second and a half. And this button was just like a backlight, so it's like a little flashlight. But I don't think think I would mess around with this. I don't think I would play with it. I don't recommend you do it, but I can't stop you if you folks decide to go out there and find out paranormal activities. Even without spirit boxes, I still feel like there's a lot of stuff that happens. As an example, I work in a, can't say specifically where, but I work in a convalescent hospital, and that's basically like an old folks home, and so it happens, we are right next door to a cemetery. Well, there's this one night they were doing the shift change, and what that means is the CNAs that work the night shift are talking to the CNAs during the day shift, and they let them know like what the progress was with the residents, they let them know if they had any bowel movements and so on and so forth. Well, as they were doing the shift change, one of the LPNs answered the call light, so she was like, well, everybody's in there so I can see what this person wants. So then she goes in there, knocks on the door, she was like, oh, hey, what's up, how may I help you? She was like, well, can you tell the kids in the hallway to stop running? So the LPN was like, I'm sorry, what? She was like, the kids, they're in the hallway, please tell them to stop running. So she was like, well, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. So she kind of just like, all right, I'll try my best to calm them down, but that was another experience. And like I said, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not trying to make you believe in paranormal activity. I'm not trying to persuade you to believe that there's something else if that's what you folks are not interested in. But there are things out there that I can't explain, that science can't explain, that spirit boxes can't explain. If you go on YouTube, type in spirit box, and you'll see a guy with an amp that's out in the fields. I think he's in somewhere in London or England because he has an accent. But you'll hear how fast the channels go through it, and you'll hear actual sentences or word phrases like, I think I'm dead, was one of the ones that played on YouTube. Like I said, I was going to bring one in here. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I just really, really couldn't. And I talked to my husband, I was like, should I do it? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, ew, no. Like, you're supposed to agree with me. What are you doing? But definitely look on YouTube if that's something that you guys are interested in. And a personal story that I'll tell you from me that I've witnessed. Oh man. So the same thing, I was working at the convalescent hospital again. And I was walking by this lady's room and I saw like her TV was on, because you know how it flashes and different colors and different stuff. Well, I was walking by and I was like, oh, you know, I should probably turn that off. So I went to go get some water. After I was done, I walked right by her room. And I looked inside, I was like, huh, I can't hear the sound of the TV. Well, as soon as you walk in, immediately it's the restroom, and then it goes into split rooms. Well, I was looking, I was like, I don't see her TV on. Well, it was the restroom light, and the light was flickering off and on. So I was like, nope, I'm not going in her room, I don't care about the electricity bill, I don't pay it. So you can't convince me to go in there. So I won't work night shifts anymore. I just absolutely refuse. But there's many more stories of that. I don't want to take up too much time. So if you folks have any questions, comments, concerns, don't play with Ouija boards.
Thank you.